Greetings and welcome to another video. It's Sunday, 25th of August 2024. In past videos I've talked about ghost stories and folklore from not only Telford but also Shropshire overall, and I've used a couple of books about the subject from which I've got those specific stories. And what I've usually done is in the description box below each video I've detailed which book I was using at the time, the book title, the book author, the ISBN number for example, so that if anyone was interested in getting a copy of a book I was using at the time, just check out the description box beneath each video and you can carry on from there. And that's what I'm going to be doing today. Just check out the description box beneath this video for more details of the two books I'm talking about right now. And the first one is a really interesting one by a guy called Rupert Matthews, and it's called Haunted Places of Shropshire. Now, I got this book from Waterstones in Telford Town Centre, and it cost me £7. Ever since I got it, I've been dipping in and out of it, and I've been reading some really interesting stories in here. It's definitely one of the best books about ghost stories of Shropshire I've got at the moment. So, yeah, I'm just going to read to you what it says on the back. Stories of the supernatural have been passed down through the generations since time immemorial. Every age and every geographical area has a large fund of these tales which cannot be explained even by those who do not believe in them. Shropshire's own stories are many and varied. They include a ghost in 17th century dress called Fred, who haunts Old Colehurst Manor near Market Drayton. The apparition of royal soldiers murdered in Blaney's Lane, Whitchurch. The wraith of Edric the Wild, who can be seen roaming the hills around Longmynd. The spectre of a Dutchman with jiggling spurs and clanging sword who haunts the Dun Cow pub in Shrewsbury. And the ghost of a horse carrying an invisible rider who gallops up Uffington High Street. Other stories tell of a ghostly monk in Lilleshall Abbey who asks, "Have you found the secret?" A poltergeist who mills in the trolleys and tins and shelves of a refurbished Spar supermarket in Much Wenlock. A phantom open boat piled high with corpses on the River Severn at Ironbridge. A shade of William Owen, a well-known portrait painter who haunts Corve Street, Ludlow, where he died. And the ghosts of two children who play happily in a Bridgnorth street. Rupert Matthews' journey through the haunted places of Shropshire will absorb and fascinate even the hardened skeptic. He has made the collection of ghost stories his lifelong interest and is a member of the Society of Physical Research and Ghost Club. He is also the author of several more books on the series, including Haunted Places of Nottinghamshire, Haunted Places of Warwickshire, and Haunted Places of Kent. So yeah, it sounds like a really good series of books to collect if you're interested in ghost stories. And yeah, for me, this particular one, Haunted Places of Shropshire, is a really good starting point, a really good first place to go to for anyone interested in ghost stories. Now the second book I've got is again equally interesting and is also a fantastic starting point for anyone interested in ghost stories, and specifically around Telford. and it's called Haunted Telford by Phillip Solomon. Again, I got this book from Waterstones in Telford Town Centre, and this one cost me £15. And again, in conjunction with, at the same time as the other book I've just talked about, there's some great stories in here, some great ghost stories, and it's also a really good way to learn about local history and local communities over the centuries. Absolutely good stuff. So I'll just read you what it says on the back of this book. Although it is the largest town in Shropshire, you probably wouldn't think there would be many ghosts lurking in the new town of Telford. However, the smaller settlements that formed the new town were founded in the 13th century, and so Telford plays host to many spirits from the past. The surrounding areas of Ironbridge Gorge and Coalbrookdale are haunted by numerous ghostly apparitions that appear to date from the time of the Industrial Revolution. From heart-stopping accounts of apparitions, manifestations and related supernatural phenomenon to first-hand encounters with ghosts and ghouls and spirits. This collection of stories contains both new and well-known spooky stories from in and around Telford. It is sure to fascinate everyone with an interest in the area's haunted history. So yeah, there's all kinds of really good stuff here, from Ketley to Hadley, from Ogdengate to Dorley, and you got stories from the Princess Royal Hospital, from Albrighton. You've got stories from Bethnal Hall, from Broseley, Brookside has got a mention in here, Biltwars Abbey, and yeah, the Swan Hotel in Dorley. But yeah, there's one particular story in here which I want to focus on, which I am going to read to you right now, because it's about something I've mentioned before in a previous video. I think it was a couple of years ago now. I found out 2 newspaper articles from the Shropshire Star that I'd kept from 2006, and that turned out to be a really popular video because a lot of people were interested in what these 2 newspaper articles from 2006 had reported. And the same story appears in this book here, and I'm talking about specifically the Telford Puma. So yeah, I just want to take the time to read this little story here. The Telford Puma. There have been many stories of the Telford Puma of Dorley and Mallinsgate, and, notably, this is one of the few cases that featured on television. But could it be that it is in fact a ghost? Surely, if it was a real non-native cat, it would have been caught by now. Cryptozoologists do debate the possibilities that these out-of-place animals could possibly be ghosts or apparitions, and that they come from other dimensions and can appear and vanish just as quickly into thin air. An interesting historical note that I came across was that, of all places relevant to rural France, is that cats were linked to the ancient corn harvest. The creatures would be treated with great reverence and decorated with flowers and ribbons before eventually being sacrificed. Could there be similar things that have happened in our own Telford area, which certainly many years ago was a very agricultural, And could this so-called Telford puma really be a ghost? So the author of this book, Phillip Solomon, in his research about the Telford puma, found that in France there was a corn festival where cats were celebrated and decorated as part of this agricultural festival. So could there be a connection between this festival in France and what's going on in Telford? That's the question. The book goes on to say, a Telford police report stated on 24th of November 2006 at 3:15 a.m. an officer had seen the cat near the White Horse public house in Finger Road, Dorley. The officer described seeing an enormous black cat crossing the road and disappearing into the grounds at the rear of a public house. The animal was described as being of a huge size with a long tail. Other patrols were called to the area, but nothing was found to prove the sighting. By now, this was the third reported incident describing a large cat-like creature in 2006. 2 Telford Park rangers had also reported witnessing the presence of a large black cat very close to the town park. P.C. Simmons of Telford Police stated that sightings are rare and appear to come in clutches, giving the impression that large black cats or pumas are roaming in large numbers amongst us. Officers at the Mallinsgate police station were advised to be careful when patrolling the area, and many websites dedicated to such things suggest that you should be careful if you see such a creature, and that although these animals will generally avoid contact with humans and run away, you should not approach one. Be calm and back away, but never run. But the question has to be asked, if they do exist, why have they not been caught? I don't think that such excellent reports of the sightings of these animals can be rejected, but if they fall into the category of what cryptozoologists describe as possibly being from another world or ghost-like, then in simple terms, they never will be caught, will they? So yeah, I wanted to focus in on that story because I've talked about it before in a previous video, and so the article about the Telford puma from this book suggests 2 possibilities. The first possibility, that these big cats are some kind of ghosts or spirit connected to harvest festivals in France, and that tradition somehow came over to England, or that these big cats are real physical animals which roam the English countryside just like any other animal does. There's all kinds of stories and ideas about big cats across the UK, in different parts of the UK. I don't know what everyone else believes. Are they ghosts or are they real animals? I like to think that they are real animals that once did be in Telford, that passed through Telford at one point, but they've probably migrated on to live somewhere else now. I don't know. Until and unless one of these big cats is found, either dead or alive, the entire big cats in the UK is going to be an ongoing mystery, to be honest. So yeah, with that in mind, I'm going to finish this video now. If anyone's interested in getting your own copy of the 2 books I've just talked about, check out the description box below this video so you can follow up the information as you want, or just go down to Waterstones, for example, in Telford Town Centre, and these books should be on the bookshelves at Waterstones somewhere. So yeah, thank you for watching, take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you all soon in the next video. Take care and goodbye.